Hello everyone, in this video I'll be talking about an experiment, impact of a jet. First I will be talking about the introduction of this experiment. To analyze fluid motion, a finite region of the fluid, also known as control volume, is usually selected. The gross effects of the flow is determined by calculating the net mass rate that flows into and out of the control volume. The force exerted by a jet of fluid on a flat or curved surface can be resolved by applying the momentum equation. The study of these forces are essential in fluid mechanics and hydraulic machinery. The objective of this experiment is to investigate the reaction forces produced by change in momentum of fluid flow when a jet of water strikes a flat plate or a curved surface. This is the methodology that will be used throughout the experiment. The momentum of forces is determined by measuring the forces produced by a jet of water impinging on a solid, flat, or curved surface which deflect the jet of water at different angles. Here are the procedures for this experiment. First, with no weight on the pen, the height of the gauge level was adjusted until it aligned with the datum line. Then a 50-gram mass was placed on the weight pen and the pump was turned on. The bench valve is then opened slowly and water was allowed to impinge upon the target until the datum line on the weight pen is level with the gauge. The flow rate was measured using a volumetric tank. The procedure was then repeated by reducing the flow rates and 8 readings were obtained. The entire test was then repeated by substituting the flat plate with a hemispherical cup. The image shown in this picture shows the setup of the experiment. Here we can see all the parts of the apparatus. Here are the results obtained from the experiment. The first table shows the results from the flat plate and the second table shows the results from the hemispherical cup. From the values from the table on the slide before, a graph was then produced. The graph with a higher gradient is from the hemispherical cup, and the graph with the lower gradient is from the flat plate. Based on the results that were obtained and based on our observations, here are the discussions of this experiment. When the flow rate increases, the force exerted will also increase. And it was also observed that the gradient of force exerted on the hemispherical cup was higher compared to the flat plate. Lastly, these are the conclusions that we can get from this experiment. First, when the flow rate increases, the force exerted on a surface also increases. Secondly, different types of surfaces will give different gradient of forces exerted, but it will still comply to the first observation, which is when the flow rate increases, the force exerted on the surface will also increase. The slight errors in the results were caused by errors in the reading, and lastly, the hemispherical cup has a higher efficiency compared to the flat plate. That is all for this video. Thank you.